Hi, and welcome to the rig tour for Omar, one of the Character Mosaic rigs. Omar and the other Mosaic characters were created at the Rochester Institute of Technology. To download Omar, pickers for the rigs, any of our other characters, or to learn more about what we're working on, you can visit our website, which is linked in the description. Let's get right into Omar. Starting at the base, the main control handles his scene placement, global scale, and toggling his rag and mustache on and off. The cog is this bigger yellow control around his hip area, nothing unusual there. Omar is built with a hybrid IK-FK spine. The yellow, more circular controllers along his torso are part of the FK setup, and the red, more rectangular controls are IK. To adjust the amount of volume conservation on his spine, you can go to the ribbon base control, which is the red one at his hips here, and change the spine volume attribute. This number is a multiplier, so at 0, nothing is happening with his volume, and at 5, you're getting probably too much change in volume as you squash and stretch him. We have this set at 0.5 by default because that amount of conservation works pretty well in most cases. Up to the arms, his settings controllers are these little purple flags at his wrists. In FK mode, by default, his arms are set to follow the torso, but by turning that to 0, the arms will follow the world. In IK, you get a wrist control and a little pull vector sphere. On the pull vector, you can toggle between having the control follow the wrist when it moves or stay locked in world space. On the wrist, you get the option to toggle stretchy on and off. When this is at 0, his arm won't be allowed to extend past its base length, and when it's at 1, he's free to stretch around. The volume attribute lets you decide if you want him to conserve volume while he stretches or not. His shoulder point controls work sort of like clavicles on some other rigs. You can translate this to set the positioning of his shoulder in both IK and FK modes. The hands feature a full hand control that lets you spread, curl, and roll all of his fingers at once for quick and easy posing, and then each finger is FK controlled for more precise positioning. Down to the legs, these hip point controls act just like the ones for the shoulders, allowing you to individually position the hips in both IK and FK. The IK-FK switches are down by the ankles, they're little purple flags again. The IK has a pull vector control and a foot control. The knee pull vector, like the ones for the elbows, lets you toggle between following the foot and staying in world space. On the foot, you can control the stretch and volume conservation on his legs, and there's also the advanced foot setup with ball roll, toe lift, toe twist, heel roll, heel twist, and banking. Back up to the neck, he has 2 FK neck controllers, and then his head controller can be selected at the base or up on top. The head itself is broadly stretchy. The upper, middle, and lower head controllers will let you reshape his skull if you're doing something cartoony. The brows have a master controller for positioning and smaller spherical controls to shape them. The eyes follow an eye aim control that can be toggled to follow the head or stay planted in world space. When the eyes move, the eyelids shift automatically, so you don't have to animate that detail yourself. The eyelids have bigger curve controls that make blinking pretty easy, and then smaller controls to get more specific about lid shape. The cheek and nose controls let you sort of squish him around as you want. You can wiggle his ears, and when you open his jaw, you get top and bottom teeth and an FK tongue. The mouth has a bigger controller that lets you place the whole thing on the face, and you can toggle sticky lips on and off, which will just make it so that even if the jaw opens, the mouth can stay closed. His lips can be further shaped with the sphere controls along them, and the full lip control curves in the middle. He's also got these fun little hair sprouts on top of his head that you can use these FK chains to get some secondary motion out of. Lastly, he's got a rag that you can toggle on and off from the main controller. When it's on, it follows his hip and has FK controls so you can animate it swinging for more secondary motion. You can also use this rag options control to make it dynamic. To fully engage that feature, is dynamic should be set to 1 and FK dynamic blend should be at 10. This is weird to control in the active viewport, but when you play an animation back, you should be able to see the rag dynamically reacting to the movement of its base. And that's Omar. If you'd like to animate him, or any of the other Mosaic character rigs, check out our website by clicking the link in the description. While you're there, don't forget to join our Discord server, where you can interact with other students using the rigs and get in touch with the Mosaic team with your questions and comments for us. Happy animating!